I'm about to put you on the spot. I'm about to put you on the spot.
Sure.
Out of all the women on this panel, how many of them would you say were good women?
On this panel?
On this panel.
Well, I don't know them like that.
Good women or marriage material?
Just face value. Just like if this is how they presented themselves.
So in this panel is like 5. I'm talking about the world. Let's be realistic.
No, I get that, but I'm trying to bring it home so you can understand.
The reason why I say that is you don't have access to the women on this panel, but you do have access to women who you're around. And I'm saying to you, and the women who are in your life, most men are just not out here single. The women in your life, you're telling me you don't come across, your people don't come across you've never had a good woman in your life, and you be like, she's just not the one. It's nothing she did wrong. She's just not the one for me. It didn't mean she was a bad person. It just means that that's not who you want to give that ring to. Maybe she called at the wrong time in life. Maybe you just didn't have your shit together. You wasn't thinking about marriage. It's so many things, and it's not your fault. But what I'm saying to you is it didn't take away from her being a good person.
Let's say for the sake of argument that you're absolutely right. That I experienced a good woman in my past, right?
Sure.
Maybe I did pass up on that one good woman, but after that one good woman, I experienced 100 bad women. Then even I'm humoring you, humor me here.
Oh,
we're talking about mass, right?
I lose my sense of humor around.
I know, humor me. We're talking about in mass. If I go outside and 1 in every 30 women are good, that's a bad percentage for the women.
Oh, that means sure.
That means that majority of y'all ain't shit.
I think the majority of people ain't shit.
The reason why I asked you that question, Shan, the reason why I asked you that question though, and I know it may come off a little messy when I asked you about the women on the panel, is because sometimes women consider good women. They judge women by a totally different criteria than what men would judge them by. So oftentimes women would say, hey, that's a good woman. And then all the men, for instance, I wonder how many women actually believe that Travis Hunter's wife, girlfriend is a good woman. No, and then you see the men respond and they be like, nah, that ain't a good woman.
So that's the reason why I said, how many good women have you? I'm asking you, how many have you? Because that's coming from your opinion, right? How many women have you had in your life that you know was a good woman, probably been a good wife, and you passed on her? It wasn't my opinion. I'm talking about you stepping in yourself and you telling me your opinion of the woman that's come into your life. So I know that there's a lack of good people on both sides, right? But you're gonna miss me with that whole thing of, I ain't never had a good woman in my life who was down for me and I just passed on her because maybe the timing wasn't right or something just wasn't right.
But if I told you that, yes, I've only met 3 good women in my life, 3, sure. All of them were marriageable, but the other 100 women that I dealt with were terrible, then that would still put them in a majority. If every man said, yeah, I only met about 3 good women in my life, but most of them wasn't shit. That's 60. Yeah, that's 50% or better. That would still create a failure of the women where most of y'all aren't being seen as good women. Most of y'all are being seen as bad women, and it's being represented by the numbers.
I'm not taking that away from you. But what I'm saying to you is, if you are a single man, which you're not, so you got to marry. If you are a single man, you told me you're a single man and you're sitting here talking about women, but then you say I passed up on 3 good women. I'm gonna say, well, that's your fault. You had 3 good women who could have possibly been your wife, and now you keep sitting here complaining about women you're coming across now who not gonna be your wife. What about the 3 women that you came across that could have been your wife?
Fair, but you got to understand we're talking about a group, because we're trying to explain why this is happening, right? We're trying to explain how the vast majority of our community isn't married, right?
So let me ask you a question, Sweetie. My question to you is, do you think so I know that you're saying, because I get what you're saying, that most women are marriageable, and I'll take that. Do you think most men are marriageable?
I would argue, yeah. You want to know why? Because I think most men would take care of a woman that they give a shit about. And I think most men are quicker to especially when you're talking about black men, we're the most liberal group out of all men. We're most likely to help. We're most likely to help out in the house. We're most likely to help you with the kids. We're most likely to understand where you're coming from. The problem with women is that they don't see most men. They don't see most men. Most men, based off of, if you're looking at them at face value, most women don't see most men. Most men see most women.
I don't think they do. I
Yes,
think
we
that's
do.
why
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you how I know. I'm gonna tell you how I know. I'm gonna tell you how I know. All you got to do is look at dating statistics. Most men swipe on most of the women that they encounter. They're swiping left on most of the women that they encounter.
Because they want to have sex.
It doesn't matter that, but
it does.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna explain how it does, how it doesn't matter. That means we still see you. Most women don't swipe on anybody. They're swiping right on. They're disqualifying most of the men.
So Sweeney, you just said men will sleep with anything that offers sex, right? But he's going to be picky about his marriage. So swiping right has nothing to do with marriage. It just has opportunity to have sexual intercourse with that person.
Hold on, wait. So no, what you don't understand is that I'm saying we're talking about who has the bigger perception. I think most men have more perception of who women are than women have perception on who men are. I don't think most women see good men. I think most women see the men that they want and they judge all men based off a small group of men. I think when men encounter women, we encounter far more women in regards to how we see y'all, who we're willing to look at, who we're willing to date, who we're willing to give a chance to than women are. Men that give way more chances in dating than women would give chances.
So dating, okay, you keep saying dating, but we're talking about marriage here, okay? I don't think men are that generous with marriage. I think they are generous with dating because there's something that comes with dating. There are perks that come with dating and there's no responsibility there, okay? So the way you're looking at dating for women, I want you to look at, I'm trying to let you look at it as far as marriage is concerned, right? I don't think that men are generous with marriage. I think that they are very stingy and they're gonna hold back as much as they can.
That's not the mindset of men. That's a select group of men.
Here's your problem with that assumption. First of all, you got to understand that 30%, a third of men under the age of 30 are virgins. Virgins. They ain't even getting to the sleeping with stage. They're not even bagging enough women to even be able to discern whether a woman, they can't even get to the point where they can even decide to marry a girl because they can't even get their foot in the door. That's what I mean by men are giving more grace because we're even giving y'all more chances by swiping on most of y'all. I think if the role, well, I ain't gonna say if the roles were reversed, but I think if men were actually given a fair shot by most women and most women actually started to look at men the same way that we look at women, you would actually see more men deciding to marry than they would if what we're saying is that